Okay. Oh, I probably should edit this. Hold on a second. I will edit this. No, 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 no. Okay. Here we are. Ta-da. Uh, you really should be. Okay. Well. Oh, oh no, no, no. Okay. Yeah, no, it's weird. I should have really fixed this before I started. Okie dokie, that should be fine. I'll go back to live. Okay. Yeah, I know it's pretty. I haven't been back streaming in a while. Why is my camera like this? Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the display screen over here, and I wish I had a better display uh, thing. Is there a way I could view it in full screen? I don't know if there is. Look good. Okay. Anyways, okay, so we're back with lore stories. I haven't done lore stories in a while. I'm sorry, I keep on looking at the screen. It's kind of hard not to. It's the one visual I have here. So looking at the camera, then it's been a while. Anyways, okay. Anyways, the lore stories we have been doing. Haven't gotten back around to this in such a long time. Again, once again, I've been tempted to put in music into these, but I don't want to get hit by copyrights. Not necessarily because of Twitch. Twitch doesn't really focus on the copyrights, it seems, but my main problem will be with YouTube because I post these on YouTube, and unless I can find some music that is not copyrighted that I can post onto YouTube, at least just have the music in the background that's not like overly, happy-go-lucky, I guess you think. Things that aren't party. I really need to turn this notification off. Hold on a second. Let me actually just maybe close window. There. Okay. Sorry, it's my Discord. Anyways, uh, it's one of those. I really want to put in music, but I can't unless I turn the music way down. And almost all the music I have will not be suitable for the type of sounds type of reading we're gonna be doing. So again, we'll be without music for a while. So uh, okay, good. It does cover that. Okay, good. Anyways, so it is very much a situation of I want to continue. I want to put in music, but I can't because I'm afraid of copyrights, basically. So back to the subject at hand, which is the lore stories, mainly the grimoires of the Destiny series. Now we left off, I believe, on. Oh, great! I'm gonna have to look that up, aren't I? When did we leave off? It's been that long. I have trouble remembering. Uh, I could look at. Okay, let me look at my previous Twitch thing here. Hold on a second. Let me look at my. No, it's not gonna be on my Twitch. It's gonna be on my YouTube. Bear with me. I gotta pull up my YouTube now. I really shouldn't have done this, but done this like prior to. But I I forgot. Then I've been a little off track a bit because of this. I haven't been streaming in a while, and I'm hoping to get back into it. When was the last one? No, this man's Anthropology File. Derp. Lore Stories 2. Okay. Okay, I think I've figured out where we left off last. If I can get my thing to work here, that'd be nice. Okay. Anyways, where we left off at last seems to be the bargain. It seems. Is that? I could have sworn I did a Lore Stories 3, but I guess it didn't. So if I'm repeating some lore again, I apologize. So um um I think I believe I know where I'm at. Okay, good. I believe we left off maybe on verse 1:9. So uh I'm going if you would like to see that bit of video, then look up my my YouTube video. I probably should put my YouTube in the. I really need to put my YouTube in my panels in this darn thing. Anyways, I'll do that once this video is done. But okay, so anyways, so we left off on verse 1:9. So okay, so I want to do a quick refresher before we start. Okay, so as of from the previous verses of this is the Book of Sorrows, by the way, a collection of lore from the Hive. Um, so Orash is and her sisters have their mother had betrayed their father, who is the king of the Osmian throne, which is essentially like the kingdom of the king. Basically, he's the king of their kingdom, basically. And the Osmian throne is supposed to be their kingdom or something like that. And their mother feels that their father is not fit to be king, so they decide. So she decides to have her husband assassinated, and have her kid, and she'll kill her kids. Yeah, very Roman-esque there. and they'll and she'll take up the throne. She basically struck a bargain with their main enemies, feeling that the king has been detrimental to their society. Da 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 da. She feels she's doing the right thing. Orash and her sisters escape though, and they come across this boat eventually called, I believe, the. Oh, thank you for the follow. Seox? Is that how you pronounce it? Seox? Anyways, thank you for the follow. Um, I actually really need to change that duration of that GIF, don't I? Anyways, squirrel. Um, anyways, Orash, and so Orash is supposed to be the immediate heir, I believe. Orash wants to know everything, and then there's what's your name? Sathonas. Sathona is the cunning one. She's one that Sathona is a character that you don't know exactly. She seems to be pulling the strings in the background, but it's not really her that's pulling the strings. Movie, and so, and then there's Then there's Zyro. She is the sister who wants to be a knight, and she's hell bent on taking revenge on their mother. Sathona wants to be a mother and and whatnot, which is weird. But then again, the Hive are very strange. If I recall correctly, the Hive are very much but what the term would be, I think, is asexual, meaning that, well, no, not asexual, because asexual would imply that they have no gender, but they do. It's really weird. Now, this is not saying asexual as in you're flat out against sex. That's a whole other story. But asexual, the one of the other meanings of asexual is that you have no gender. They do have a gender. It's just weird. They can change their gender depending on what the morph they consume. And I believe the knights are male, the wizards are female. As far as what the other types are, I don't know. I don't know if all hives start out female and change genders depending on which morph they consume. I don't know that. I really don't. But that's some lore I would like to look up actually. But anyways, Sathona wants to become a mother, and to help carry on the, and help keep their species going. Weird idea there, but she's also very cunning. Now, Orash is the kind of the wisest sister in a way. She's, well, I say wise. She wants to know. She's desperate to learn. She has that eagerness to learn, kind of like me. But she wants to know why her father was so afraid of what's going on with their planet. He had made the sign of what's called the Zizigi, which is basically planets aligning around the moons, sorry, aligning around the planet, and eventually the moons pass and a massive tidal wave, flies, destroying everything. Now, the reason why I say moons and not planets is because they're on basically a giant gas giant, sort of like Jupiter. Jupiter has many moons. Imagine these 59 moons. The 59 moons of what's called the Fundament. That is their planet. They all line up. Now we've all experienced the tidal wave in the tidal surges in. If you've ever been to the beach, you wouldn't, and it's simple, middle school level, knowledge that the moon pulls on the water on on our Earth and creates the tides, depending on its position. Now, imagine multiple moons lining up. Now, multiple moons, of course, would create multiple bulges of whatever, air, water, whatever. And, well, they all line up. You get a massive bulge. Now, imagine they move away from each other. They're no longer aligned. What do you think happens to all the water? And in this case, it's not water, it's gas. But here's the thing. When it comes down to physics, gas and water react very much the same. Functionally, gas is a fluid because of how it interacts with things. But of course, it's not a fluid. But the way it functions, how it moves about in different things, is comparable to a fluid. So look up a time lapse of clouds running over the mountains. You would think it was water, basically. Anyway, so imagine instead of a massive wave of water, now you've got a massive wave of air that is essentially like a massive shock wave. Now, a shock wave reacts very much in the same way as it would to like water hitting you if it's got enough air in it, depending on the density of the gas, of course. But we're not going to get into what could be the air content of the Fundament. I'm not going to go into that physics. Anyways, so imagine a big, massive wall of gas. Now, okay, to us that doesn't sound very much, but you're on a gas giant where it's got immense air pressure, it's got immense gravity, to the point where the gas very much would act like a liquid. So, I wouldn't want to be standing. 59 moons all lined up, and then away, and you get this massive wave of air. Yeah, I would TGFO out of that. Anyways, so her father was naturally very, very, very scared of that, and he warned her. He warned his son, his daughter Sathona about this. So it's gnawing at her, what's going on, and she wants to know if it can be prevented or if they can escape somehow. And well, Sathona comes across. Sorry, he warned Ulrash, not Sathona. Anyways, Sathona comes across her father's familiar when he dies, and she decides to take it. This familiar is a long dead fossilized worm. Anyone that's versed in Destiny lore knows that the worms are what's inside the hive, and the worms inside the hive are part of the worm gods, and that's what gives them their eternal life. It's not immortality because it can still die, but they have eternal life, as it were. Well, I'm not sure if immortality means you can't die. Eternal life just means you live for flippin' ever until someone kills you, basically. But either way, so the hive have to continuously feed their worms and whatnot. But of course, this is a weird fossilized dead worm. But Sathona can hear it speak to her. And I've gotten into what it could possibly be before, and I'll go into it again here in a bit. But so it leads her to the Needle, and so which is basically a submarine-like boat kind of thing. Sort of like okay, imagine a World War II submarine. Looks like a boat, but can submerge. Not very efficient, actually, but there you go. It doesn't exactly look like that, but just imagine that, okay? And so they get into the Needle. They manage to get it running. They're sailing and whatnot. Eventually, Sathona convinces them that the only way to find what they're looking for is to dive deep. And so they dive into the water, and they continue going and going and going until they run into the Leviathan. The Leviathan warns them not to go any further, that they will only find death and destruction, that even though the surface of the fundament is harsh and unforgiving, it is the kinder of what is down in the deep. It is where they belong. It is safe, quote unquote, safer for them, but they are having it. Sathona convinces her sisters, again somehow pulling the strings in the background, that this Leviathan talks in riddles and can't be trusted. And look, I have my father's familiar, and it speaks nothing but truth and honesty. Who are you gonna trust? Paraphrasing here, by the way. Who are you gonna trust? The cryptic Leviathan, or the kind, honest worm? And so they dive deeper, ignoring the Leviathan's warning, which they should have. And they get to the they come across the what they called the worm gods. What eventually comes to be called the worm gods. Yol, I think that's how I pronounce it, Yol, the honest worm, and then there are the other ones, Ir, Zol, and and Akka, and the virtuous worms. Now, I want to point this out here. Zol, in Destiny 2 DLC Warmind, we come across Zol. Now, the way to describe Zol in this lore book is that they look like dragons or something to the back. Well, my folded jaws. Yeah, folded jaws and curled wings. Behold the hiving cities of symbiotic, flesh. Da da da. Now, folded jaws and curled wings. Sounds like a dragon. Yet, they're called worms. And Zol in Destiny 2 DLC Warmind was very much a giant worm. Yeah, could pretty much fly. Anyways, so these are the worm gods. Now, there's only one set of creatures in the entirety of Destiny lore that match the description a of something similar to a dragon, and that is the Ahankara. Hi, um, Illiflex. Hello. Anyways, the Ahankara are kind of people that things that like to create devil's bargains, and that's what they do here. Oh, Lilflex. Hi. Sorry. And sometimes I have a hard time reading the names here. Anyways, the by the way, why do you keep on calling me Dad? That's weird. Sorry, it just throws me off. Um. Anyways, speaking of which, Lil Flex, I recently. Hold on a second. Anyways, I recently got this made and improved. There we go. I don't know if you can see that very well, but anyways. Okay, number one, I'm not married. Two, I've never had a kid that I know of. This is weird. Awkward. Anyways, the where is it? Okay. Anyways, what am I trying to talk here? Oh. Oh, okay. Toby XD, thank you for the follow. Anyways, the Ahankara love making devil's bargains. They are very much, they're very fond of it. Oh my god! I'm sorry, Toby, but that is just sorry. That number is just weird. Okay. Anyways, wait, I thought you were following me. Didn't you can follow if you want, Lil Flex. Anyways, sorry, I'm doing a bit of a recap on the grimoire here. We're working on the Book of Sorrows. So, okay, recap here. Then Noah cannot rap. I cannot rap for the life of me. I'm sorry. I am very tone deaf. But I can always do voices. Oh God, sorry. That. Yeah. Anyways, just doing a minor recap of the story so far. Anyways, uh, basically, Orash and her sisters have been betrayed by their mother, having murdered. They murdered their mother murdering their father, and they flee. They eventually Sathona eventually leads them to the Needle, which is basically like a submarine boat kind of thing, and they dive down, believing that that their salvation lies within the deep. They come across the Leviathan. The Leviathan tells them, "Turn back. You don't want anything that's down there." So Thona convinces them to continue going down, and they come across the worm gods, and it is Yol, Zol, Aka. Now Zol in Destiny 2 DLC Warmind, we do come across. In fact, we kill Zol. I believe it's Zol. Yeah, I believe it's Zol. Anyways, so it is quite interesting And there's a lot of theories that suggest that the worm gods are Ahankaras, and it is not entirely clear if they are, but the fact that they make a devil's bargain and they say things such as, if I can find it, hold on a second, I'm trying to find it because it is in here somewhere. Okay. Now technically this is Orosh saying it, but she's being influenced by the fossilized dead worm that she has that was her father's familiar that can still talk to her, which is another trait of the Ahankara. But the Ahankara have a very, very big fondness for a certain type of speech, in a particular phrase, usually involving "oh something mine." And Orosh, not Orosh, sorry, Orosh, Sathona, that's gonna get confusing eventually. Uh, says, "Let us dive, oh sisters mine." Now, the "oh sisters mine" would welcome to the club, Krennic. Is that how I say it? Is that how I say it? Krennic? And anyways, "Oh sisters mine" is very much something an Ahankara would say. And so and so so is she being influenced because okay. I would just say Krennic. It's easier. Anyways, "Oh sisters mine" is very something an Ahankara would say. And and so she's being influenced by Ahankara, and thus, well, she says, "Oh sisters mine." Anyways, so now they've struck a bargain the with the with these guys. Really? It's low? It shouldn't be that low. Hold on a second. Let me actually pull up my thing and I'll try to edit that. Hold on. Audio. Begin. Let me change it to chat more. Let's try this. It's mic monitoring. Okay. That better? I can always turn up my mic pickup. Try checking your volume mode. Oh, I'm from Texas. Hold on, let me turn up my mic sensitivity. Maybe that'll help. There, is that better? There we go. That should be better. Okay, good. Anyways, they've so they've struck a devil's bargain, and the worm gods offering them eternal life as long as they fed their worms, which is inside them now. And basically that means they have to kill, and keep on killing, feeding their worms with the death of others. Very, very much, Hive-esque. Anyways, so so now, and so where we left off was after they've, you know, made the bargain. And so now we are on verse 2:0, Immortals. Now I'm gonna probably have a habit of doing voices while I'm, doing this. So a little bit of voice acting. I'll try my best. So we are the worm, your god, the flesh of hope. Our compact is done. You are Orosh, eternal, and we are bonded to you, as close as your appetites, as your loves or needs, as the weapon in your fists and the word in your throat. We've had enough of this dismal place, haven't you? We are entangling. Oh, sorry. We are. Sorry. Some of these words are kind of weird. I'm not even sure if that's a word. We are entangulating your ship with larvae, Go back to your species. Spread the good news in the Osmian court and the hydrogen fountain. In the Bone Plaza and the Star Surgery, you will rise up into the world. If anyone rejects symbiosis with you, our children, make an example of them. A mighty wave is coming for them all. If they die anyways, save only what can be saved. The worm grants you power over your own flesh, Orash. When you've taken the King Morph, what will your adult name be? I am Aurochs. It means long thought. Oh, sorry. Wrong phrase. Aurochs. It means long thought. We approve. Okay, so now Orash is now Aurochs, having taken the King Morph, which basically transforms her body into a he and makes him king or something. I don't understand how the morph works. So, anyways, now on to verse 2:1. Conquerors. Savathun, mother morph of Sathona, we delight in your sharp mind. For millions of years the Leviathan caged us here. It is a pawn of the sky, a philosophy of cosmic slavery. The sky seeds civilizations predicated on a terrible lie that right actions can prevent suffering. That pockets of artificial rules can defy the final beautiful logic. This is like trying to burn water. Antithetical into the nature of reality, where deprivation and contempt are universal. In the deep, we enslave nothing. Liberation is our passion. We exist to help the universe achieve its terminal, self-forging glory. The war rages on. Soon it will consume Fundament. We are pleased with your use of our larvae to create mighty knights and plentiful warriors. Teox's retreat to the hydrogen fountain proves your superior strength, but you must know that reclaiming your home is not enough. There are 511 species living on Fundament. One of them must have the technology you need to leave this world. So, Savathun Sathona had taken the mother morph in becoming Savathun. Now we know Savathun from Destiny 2, and it seems that she may be in control now of the Hive, and quite possibly the Taken. We'll get into the Taken eventually, but on to verse 2 of 2. Out of the deep. Xivu Arath, Night Morph of Zyro. You love to conquer, don't you? We love to see you work. Nearly 2% of the Fundament surface is now our domain. Your species embraces the worm. The ZCG has passed. The God Wave will reach you in less than 2 years. Our organs inform us that Teox and her surviving refusalists flee towards Karan Atoll. She hopes to rally the species of Fundament against you. The Leviathan's agents work tirelessly to destroy ships and engines, trapping us on Fundament. If we cannot make ships, we will become them. Overwhelm the Karan Bastion.
Slaughter everyone there. From your axe we shall obtain the logic we require to cut space open and migrate to orbit. Reality is a fine flesh. O general ours, let us feast on it. Again, that O something ours. A very Ahankara set of words. And so it is becoming quite clear that the worm gods are, well, Ahankara. Now, they keep on referring to the logic that they need to do things. This might be an early reference to the sword logic. The sword logic is, well, it is a way for someone to essentially claim someone or something that they've defeated. So, say, sorry. So say, and actually, the Taken King DLC of Destiny 1 points this out. Essentially, the sword logic is that anything that can be killed in defeat is not worth of being, well, taken. And so it's not worth, therefore it's not worth to live. If you can take the person, basically like kill them without killing them, basically it's weird. It's a really weird concept because you don't really kill them, but you defeat them. And because of their defeat, you now essentially own them. And so you now, because now you own them, they are subservient to you, meaning they're basically your servants. And so you have control over them. This is what the Taken are. They are forces that the Hive have, well, taken. They have claimed them using the sword logic. And so, and the sword logic is also allows for a really interesting set of things. Basically, if you defeat a person, you can essentially take their power. And we see this later on, but we'll get into that when it gets there. So, now, verse 2, 3, and I'll kind of stop there once I'm done with this, because it ends up going into another set of part of the story. I just wanted to do a relatively short video on this. Anyways, verse 2, 3, into the sky. You've done well, Aurochs. Can you feel the growth of your worm? Can you feel your will beginning to warp mere law? At times we detect sadness in you. Understand, long thinker, that you enact a sacred and majestic task. Existence is the struggle to exist. Only by playing that game to its final unconditional victory can we complete the universe. Your war is divine work. We are free from Fundament's core, and Savathun's cutters are ready to fly. With Xivu Arath victorious, we have opened a wound to Charon, a wound leading to the geostationary orbit. Behold, we are faithful to our covenant. We have no future on Fundament, but her moons will make fine habitats. Let us rise. And that was verse 2, 3, into the sky. Now, I kind of want to continue, but I kind of didn't want this to be a very long video today. I just wanted to get back into the swing of streaming that, and my computer positioning, as you can tell, is not very optimal. My room currently is kind of being fixed, so I don't have the access to my room right now, so I don't have much privacy, so I haven't really done streaming because of, well, that's where I'm staying. It's the office. So, um, I'll try maybe tomorrow to continue this a little more. I may. One of the reasons why I'm doing this and not actual gaming is this. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like much, but I actually cut myself pretty badly. So, my gaming thumbs are not the greatest and such. And hold on a moment. Anyways, stream ending. So, pull this up. Intro, outro. So, thank you for being here, and I'll hope to see you all in the next bout. Have a nice day.